Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons with Troy. In today's lesson, we're going to be going over this diagram that I made that's going to be available on my site, lwtstreaming.com. And what it is it's double stops with slants in open D tuning. And what I've done here, as you can see here, let's look at this 12th fret way up here. So this is a straight bar. This would be, like if you're playing it there, you're on your third string and first string, right? And I have them. Each neck kind of has a different type of slant and different interval, I guess. So in this neck, we have sixth with forward slants, meaning the bar is going forward, kind of clockwise, right? And I've got the notes written in there, but above that, I've also got the chords. What that means is what chord this double stop, the slant or straight bar can work with. And it can work with either this D note and F sharp note played like this. That works as either a D chord, your one chord, and these are all in the key of D too. I think it's really important if you're getting open D tuning down to really get the key of D down. Then you can kind of move it in and out of different keys. That can be either the root note or the major third of a D major chord, or it could be a B, work over your sixth chord, your minor sixth chord, right? Your B minor, and that would be the minor third and the fifth of a B minor chord. And so what you do, let's start here, maybe open. And as you go up the neck, right, with your slants, you're basically just going up the scale, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, a D major scale, right? Same thing here, you're just starting that D major scale on the third, or the third string, but the third of the scale, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. So if you notice, our half steps are going to be, meaning that the two notes that are right next to each other is always going to be in the key of D, and F sharp to a G or a C sharp to a D. And then what you do is you kind of just understand, well, this starts with a D chord, my one chord, and then if I move up the scale, right, to this slant here, that's getting a G and an E note. Well, this is the root note of an E minor chord, right? Root and minor third of an E minor, my two chord. Or we just keep going up the scale. This could also be a C sharp diminished, work over our diminished seventh chord, right? Then when we keep going, check this out. What was a D chord here, straight bar, now with this slant, we're getting an inversion of that one chord, our D chord. We get the fifth of that chord and the major third, right? Or that can work over my minor three chord, an F sharp minor chord. And so on. We keep going, right? We know that the four chord on our fifth fret in the key of D, right? That can work over our G chord, our four chord. Well, this can also, G note and a B note can also work over an E minor chord, our two chord. In the key of D, we're saying, right? We keep going up. There's our five chord A, or our three chord, F sharp minor. Keep going up. Here's our sixth chord, our minor sixth chord, B minor, right? Root note, minor third for a B minor. But check this out. This is real important, I think. Here is our four chord. We skip a double stop and we go up to here. We get an inversion of that four chord with our forward slant. So that can work over a G chord, right? That's the notes G and B, root and major third. And then when we move that up to our 8th fret and 9th fret right here, that also works as a G chord. Or that works as a B minor chord, however you want to use it, but that can work over that. And then we got our C sharp and E, so that can work over our diminished seventh chord. That's what that little dot means. It's a symbol for diminished. Or just as this was an inversion of our four chord, now this slant is an inversion of our five chord, right? We have A and C sharp, root note, major third. We move up here to our 11th fret and 10th fret, right? And then that gives us our major third and fifth of our A chord. So that's just a good rule that always works. There's your, if you have a straight bar here, go to, I guess that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 frets up, right? Or just if you're going up the scale, go that major third up and then do a forward slant, and that gives you an inversion of your straight bar chord. See, that works for our D chord, this works for our G chord, and this works for our A chord. Okay, real useful stuff here. And if you're wanting to practice this, I suggest to practice it on your 12th fret going backwards, right? Just because the smaller frets make for an easier slant. And the way that I do my forward slant, I'll just do it here over that. Here's a, let's say, here's a G, right? Straight bar. See how my fingers are together right there? Now, I don't move my wrist or anything. All I do is I push the bar just like that to where there's my index and middle's right on the side. And when I want to do the slant, I just kind of lift my middle finger up and push the bar under my middle finger, just kind of like that, under, and put a little bit of pressure on my index on the top. Just kind of like that. Let me try it there. Straight bar. There's a slant. Okay, so as we go down, so this was sixth, intervals of a sixth. As we go down, then on our second and third string, intervals of a third, right? And same thing, the chords that these work with are above them. And then, so like say, if we start on our 12th fret, there's our major third and our fifth of our D chord. But it's also the root note and minor third of our F sharp minor, right? Same thing, we keep going down. There's our, it can work over an E minor chord or C sharp diminished. And then check out here, here's our D chord. Here's our root note and major third with our forward slant for our D chord. So if we want to talk about inversions, here's root note, major third, D chord. We skip this one, straight bar it here on our 12th fret, and we have D, and then D right there. And that you can tell by the, I put the chords above there. And then you know that this is your 5 chord, so there's our major third and fifth of our 5 chord, major third and fifth of our 4 chord. And then we've got, here is a 5 chord, slant, an A chord, right? A and C sharp. But see how that works? You got that slant, we skip this one, and then we have an inversion of that A chord. Same thing, here's a G chord slant, skip this one, we have a G chord straight bar. Okay, so there's thirds on your second and third string, or third and second, however you want to think about it. And then here's sixth with reverse slants. We're going to be on our fifth and third string. Right, and how you do reverse slants, how I do them at least, is here's my straight bar. If I wanted to do a reverse slant, I don't twist my wrist. I just grab the bar on the, like that, kind of lift my wrist up, grab the bar on the ends, and then spin it counterclockwise. A little bit of pressure with my index finger. Okay, so same thing, chords are written above it, and we go down. Now, let me talk about here. Here's what's called tenths. You might be saying, well, what the heck's a tenth? A tenth is basically a major third where that third is an octave higher than the third right above our root note. For example, we could have a D here, right? And then an F sharp here, but I'm actually getting the F sharp on my third string. And you get this really cool, unique sound. Let's start on our 12th fret here. This is a D chord or a B minor. Isn't that a neat sound? So if we go down the scale, reverse slant, reverse slant. Now notice also, I haven't really explained here, with the Duesenberg, I like to push my hand off the benders, put it up above in front of the neck pickup, right? So that I can do palm blocking with the heel of my hand. Right, and also it softens up that sound when you're playing up in front of that pickup, your neck pickup. And also I have this neck pickup selector on the neck pickup, this pickup. Just a real nice soft sound. So that's the 10th. Now you might have heard that if you're a Beatles fan, the song Blackbird, that uses intervals of a 10th a lot in that song. Major third with that third up an octave. So it gets a little bit harder to do those slants with the longer frets. So just take it slow and really ask yourself, is that in tune? You might want to use a tuner. So when we come up here, this is a nice one with those forward. I like forward slants, I think, better than reverse slants. So as you're playing, you know, these are real nice to use to kind of get, especially when you slide, like say from an inversion, like a D, and slide it up to the next D chord. Things like that, you know. Or slide it down from this D down to the slanted D. Kind of has that pedal steel sound. Well, okay. Well, hope you enjoyed that, and be sure to swing over to my site if you want the PDF of this, or if you're a member of the site, and just go ahead and print it out. I think it's everything's color coded. I tried to. It's purple. It's blue. Kind of looks the same, but just makes it real clear. And I highly suggest to get the notes of each string memorized, so that when I'm talking about major thirds and fifths and all that kind of stuff, thinking in numbers, you can always use the key of D as your reference to what you kind of understand, right? And you can move it around to the shapes, because if we took all these shapes, right, this is with D as our root, and we moved everything starting on the 5th fret, all these shapes would work in the key of G, because this is just basically taking all these shapes and moving them, the spacing all the same, to there. So once you get the shapes of these slants down and the neck down in the key of D, you can easily move to other keys. Okay, well, we'll see you, and thanks for checking out the lesson, and we'll see you on the next one. Talk to you later, everybody.